Hey guys, I hope that you all are well and had a nice break from online learning and screen time over spring break. Today we are going to talk about graphic design, what it is, how often it is seen in our everyday lives. And so our outcomes are to understand the prevalence of design in daily life, understand the impact of good design, and identify a reason to make art outside of school. Okay, so our activities. We'll start by identifying a logo in your immediate area. So look around you. Most of you won't have to look very far. For me, there's a cup right in front of me, a plastic cup that has the Grotto's Pizza logo on it. I see a pair of headphones that have a logo, and there is a bag of nuts with a logo and packaging design. I've got speakers that have graphic design. My coat that's hanging on my chair has design on the tag, on the logo on the front, and even the buttons. Basically, everywhere around me, I see instances of design. That means that somebody made that. So it's somebody's job. Somebody took time to thoughtfully design a logo that would target a particular audience. So we're going to discuss what graphic design is and try to define it. We're going to look at an image and identify all the areas where we see graphic design being used. Then we'll answer the question, what does good graphic design do? What do you need as a graphic designer? What tools do you need? And then finally, we're going to create a document that lists the elements and principles of design. And we'll continue on this document next class. So for today, what you'll end up with is a Photoshop document. Please don't save it as a JPEG because you won't be able to edit it again later. And you can just take a screenshot of that file, or you can send the Photoshop file if you want, but a screenshot would be fine. Okay, great. So, what is graphic design? It's a form of visual communication. It's made up of text, illustration, and photographs, or any mix of those three. It could just be text. It could just be illustrations. It will usually never be just photographs, but any combination of those three things. And they're used to target a specific audience. So each graphic design has a purpose and a message. When you look at this street scene, how many instances of graphic design do you see? To start off, my eyes went to the Starbucks coffee banner across the top of their storefront. I see their logo in the window. Over here, there's a newsstand with Voice on the side of it. That must be the name of the paper. So this sticker had to be designed. CVS Pharmacy has this tiny little sign here, and then their big letters. The road signs are all around. There's these hanging banners. There are countless examples of graphic design and logos that we're so used to seeing that we might not even notice. So what does graphic design do? It helps solve a problem. It helps to communicate effectively. If your graphic looks nice, but it doesn't clearly deliver the message, then it's not doing its job. So consider traffic icons. What is their purpose? What are their jobs? Well, their job is to direct you as quickly as possible, right? If we're in a car and we're not sure where to go, we look at a sign and in an instant we know where we're supposed to go. It helps us travel safely and efficiently. So the icons and traffic signs are almost universal. And it's important that the design communicates almost immediately its intended message, or we could have accidents and get really hurt. So take a look at the sign. Which forms of visual communication are being used here? We've got text and illustration. So they're working together to help us know that we're supposed to buckle up. to help give us that reminder right away. What if this sign just had text and not much consideration was given to how effective the message delivery is? What if it just looked like this? Buckle up, it's the law. Which one do you understand sooner? For me, I have to stop and actually read the second one word for word, whereas with the first example, I immediately look to the seatbelt and I know what it's going to say before I even read the words. What about this sign? Slow, playground. Again, we're seeing an instance where text is being used in a combination with an illustration to help deliver the message effectively and quickly. We know that we're supposed to slow down. The sign is yellow, which is sort of cautionary. And then it tells us why underneath. There's a playground and we see a kid playing. So we immediately know that it's going to be about the safety of children. Compare it to this, slow playground. To me, that sort of just seems like it's telling me that it's a playground that moves slowly, or the message like gets skewed. If I was driving, I might not even notice that sign as much. So I think that, again, this sign that uses graphic design is much more effective and does its job. It delivers the message quickly and effectively. So what do you need to become a graphic designer? Everything you've already got, the holy trinity of Adobe programs. So we've started using Photoshop so far. It's a photo editing program that's used to enhance or manipulate photographs. And we'll talk about the difference between enhancing and manipulating later. It uses a raster format, meaning the pictures consist of pixels. Illustrator is used for creating illustrations, logos, and posters. It uses vectors instead of rasters. We'll keep talking about these differences as we move forward. And InDesign is a layout program used for creating publications, books, or interactive media documents. So today we're going to start and primarily focus on Photoshop for the rest of the year. If you don't have access to Photoshop because your computer is broken, I think there are two of us right now in that situation, then you can do it by hand, or you can do your best to follow along in Google Draw, basically whatever you have access to. If you're doing it by hand, please make sure that you're measuring and creating guides for yourself, including margins and all that to the best of your ability. All right. Thanks, everybody. So you can now go ahead and get started with the second video, which will walk you through step by step on how to create your Photoshop poster about the principles and elements of art and design. Good luck.